Welcome to another episode of Line Defense Podcast. I'm your host, Quinton Coples, where we have thought-provoking conversations that may need your line of defense. Ladies and gentlemen, today I got a special guest in the building, a brother of mine, a former pro football player, now current father, now current husband, and a lot more, but we'll talk about that as we get into the interview. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Joey Ivie. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, my man? Appreciate you having me on here today.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. We've been building some stuff outside this, and so I just want to kind of talk on camera about some of the things. But before we get into it, talk to me a little bit about who Joey Ivie is and what the people should know about you that's not on Wikipedia.
First off, I want to say, I'm definitely a man of God. That's the way I envision myself. I feel like in my life, from a young age to 30 now to 30 years old, the life experiences, things I've gone through. If you don't have God in the picture or have some type of faith, or you're not spiritually sound, life can tend to not fulfill you in ways that are meaningful, right? Like everything around you so material and so fleshly and so worldly. And I'm at the point in my life where I know for me, I got to work on myself spiritually to be the kind of person I want to be, mentally, physically, all the way down. So that's kind of a tough one outside of Wikipedia. Shoot, man, I'm just a normal guy.
Tell me about the kid in Dade City
Okay.
that, people are not aware of. They may know where you're from or where you've been, where you grew up or whatnot, but give them a illustration of who you are
Okay, so
growing up.
so I was the oldest of 5 kids. I had Andrew, Jordan, my sister who passed away. I'll get into that.
Okay.
Abraham and Abel, big family, close family.
Okay.
And my dad was who's actually a preacher.
Okay.
He's a chaplain now. It's tough. It's a tough industry to be in.
Right.
You don't make a lot of money.
Correct.
But we moved around a lot as a kid. Parents, my dad's originally from the Dade City area, Pasco.
Okay.
So about 8th grade, we moved back to Dade City, ended up living with my grandparents. Grandfather was really sick at the time.
Okay.
And it just created more of a stable environment. Grandmother is one of my best friends, real close with my grandma. So that was great. And really, I truly didn't even get into ball till my freshman year of high school. We lived in, it was interesting. So my dad went to a school called Regent University, up near Virginia Beach. In the apartment complex we lived in, there were people from all over the world: Norway, Spain, Korea. One of my first best friends is
Very diverse.
Yeah, super diverse. Next door neighbors were from Africa. I got a funny story about my younger brother used to sleepwalk, and one night he sleptwalked. We were friends with their kids, so he sleptwalked over to their. We lived right like in the same apartment complex. So he woke up, opened, I guess, went into their apartment. They had it unlocked for some reason. Fell asleep on their couch.
Wow.
Woke up in the morning, panicked, trying to figure out where my little brother is, and you knock on the door, and he was wearing this. I don't even know, what do you call the little African outfit?
Yeah, it's come about it.
It was hilarious. Never.
Yeah, I don't know that, but yeah.
So anyways,
What you thought about though?
with that community though, I got into soccer and, eventually fell in love with baseball, and then realized how tough baseball's a tough sport.
Yeah.
You really got to be all in, and basketball was really my love. I know you do a lot of basketball now, but here's the cool thing. So in 7th grade, I would shoot around 5th, 6th grade.
Mhm.
In 7th grade, I tried out for a basketball team in this town we lived in called Keystone.
Okay.
Real small town.
Okay.
Probably not even, no offense to the people there, but probably not the most talented town. I mean, there's some good players that have come out of there. Tried for the basketball team and didn't make the team. And it set like a fire in me. I'm like, dang, like, not that bad.
Now, was this your first rejection?
First rejection.
Oh, sports right
Good
there.
for me.
Yeah.
So that we ended up moving that year. Every day I was just playing basketball, hooping
Right.
every day. And when we moved, I moved to Pasco, which is outside of Tampa, way bigger talent pool. tried out for the 8th grade basketball team, made the team,
Right.
ended up starting and played in high school on varsity. Thing is, I've been probably the same height, around 6'2". I'm 6'3", probably 6'2", 6'3" since I was a kid,
Really?
young age. So I kind of hit
Your growth spurt early.
early.
Oh.
So when you're that tall, that young, they put you at center and power forward. What taught me was, perseverance and grit and even some rejection, you just keep pushing through it. Started playing, I got into football.
So did you ever make the team?
I did. Yeah, you're talking about basketball.
Yeah. So
Yeah, in 8th grade, made the team, and then I was started on the varsity as a freshman.
So after that
We
first rejection, you went back, got better.
Well, it got better, and I realized,
Yeah.
right. Well, work hard. What hard work does for you. In 9th grade, that's when I really was trying to get into football.
Okay.
On the JV team, but for some reason, I just had this thought that I could be a quarterback because baseball background.
Well, yeah, got an arm. Yeah.
They put me at offensive line.
At
One of the big one,
6'3" though.
one of the bigger guys. Right?
Yeah, quarterback is it.
I wanted to quit. It just wasn't for me. I was a tackle,
Left or right?
and I played both.
Okay.
Yeah, I played both. But it was only for like 2 games, and I wouldn't quit. I was done. So then I got to put on the D line,
Mm-hmm.
playing on the interior, playing on that exterior, and I fell in love with it. I was an angry kid. A lot of experiences with family, outside of my family, a lot of mental health stuff,
Right.
Stuff going on. So football was a way for me to channel a lot of that anger I had built up
Right.
in the football. Tom McHugh, who was our head coach at the time,
Okay.
I'll give him a lot of credit. Love the guy to death. He's still coaching. He really brought something out of me that I didn't know I had, So in the area I grew up in, it's mainly middle class, a lot of real impoverished areas, and the guys that are around, they're just hungry, man. People want to win a state championship.
Right.
So my whole family's military. So my dad was in the Army. My mom was a Marine.
Right.
She struggled with some PTSD stuff.
Okay.
Both grandfathers Army. So growing up, we were talking earlier about Call of Duty. So for me, I was like, I want to be a Navy SEAL, or I wanted. That was my.
I did not.
That was I wanted. That's what I saw with my parents.
Your legacy, yeah.
Right. Playing football my freshman year. Ended up playing D line or call it your 9th grade year, and end up doing pretty well. Move up to varsity at some point. My second year, I'm on varsity, and our team, we would go the whole time I was there. I don't think we lost one regular season game. We had lost in the playoffs. My sophomore year, we lost to Jefferson. Or my 10th grade year, 11th grade year, Jefferson was a big school. There was a guy named Tyreek McCord, was a really good player that was there. Sonny Michelle, remember him?
Okay.
Great players I played against. And we played against like Lakewood with like remember Dante Fowler and Shaquem and Shaquille Griffin. And there was so many good players, man. It was crazy. It didn't dawn on me. I just know, like,
it is. Yeah, you did playing. Yeah.
So my teammates, the guys that I played with, there was one in particular, Janaean Grant, that everyone would rave about, and everyone, I knew this guy was going to be playing college football, and we had a running back named David Emmanuel, who was unbelievable. He would have made it to the NFL. Unfortunately, he got himself in some legal trouble in college. And we had another receiver, same thing, legal trouble. He's still locked up. We had a great team. I mean, it was crazy talent. So my junior year, though, the guys I surrounded myself with, it was more of I could see now, like a lot of these teams, these kids, everyone wants to go D1. Even kids that probably don't even have
the ability.
Yeah, right, the ability. It was just a different mindset. It was F who's ever in front of us. Like, we were a mean team. Anyone we played against, like, we were aggressive.
Right.
And I took that and just was balls to the walls with everything. Well, fortunately, I was a big kid. I was junior year. I was probably 260, 270 range, and I was quick. It's hard to find big athletic guys.
Yeah.
You don't find that very often.
Not at all.
I loved my D-line coach to death, but there's D-line is, people think it's so simple, but there's so many little things that are involved.
Very complex.
It's so complex.
Yeah.
The way I look at it is like, it's almost like it's a martial art of its own.
In any defense, you live and die with your D-line.
Right.
Like, I know the middle linebacker usually get the captain role, and he's quote unquote the brain. But literally, we are the people who are to beat the man in front of us, get to the quarterback, get to the running back, pursuit to give us a second chance of surviving that down. So You know what I mean? And so now you gotta do all these things simultaneously.
Absolutely.
And so it's like, to me, it's like, yeah, you live and die with the D line. Like, there's no if, ands, or but about it. A linebacker, can miss a gap and may create a gap, but
Mhm.
the responsibility
The
lies on the front.
I think what I fell in love with it is that, you know, obviously it's a team sport,
Mhm.
but one player on the D line can create you
Like that,
havoc.
yeah,
And
so much.
you get in the backfield, and that feeling, man, and that's why I fell in love with it. Like in high school, it was just like I just remember making plays where the running back would get the ball right when the handoff comes, just like nail, smack, like
Before we go any further, which part, which one made you feel the best? Your first sack or your first tackle?
depends on the TFL. Like when I saw that clowny TFL here,
Yes.
that's what motivated me. I never made plays like that, but that was always in my head. Like
Hey, that's a game. Yeah.
that's who I
We have we ever seen a sack that was like more demolishing than that?
and even nowadays it's soft.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but like even if let's say the best sack that we've seen, like does it come compared to him knocking the helmet off?
No, it doesn't.
Right?
So the move that got him the sack is fun to watch.
Even better. Yeah.
It's fun to watch, but when he sacks the quarterback, it's great. You know, it's pretty.
Yeah, it's a joy behind it, but it's not
But when you're smack, when you get, it's like a safety coming downhill and getting a smack.
shit. Yeah,
When you get to bust a line, you get to hit a running back.
it's a whole nother world.
I played with a guy who was really good at he had a ton of TFLs. He's actually still playing. Jonathan Bullard,
Okay.
remember him?
I don't know about yeah.
Great guy. But yeah, so this was what's wild. So my junior years, there was a guy named Ricky Saylor. He had this group called Unsigned Preps.
Okay.
And looking back, I can't remember the time frame of when we got connected, but we would do these recruiting tour buses and, but that was kind of the same time I started to get recruited where I would go to some of these camps and, they'd sponsor you and,
Right.
I'd be like a group of 30 guys, still talk to some of these guys.
Nice.
'Cause some of these guys made it to the NFL. Gosh, what's the name of the guy for the Falcons? Receiver McLeod. Talking about.
I think I know you're talking about. Yeah. I think it is McLeod.
You know what I'm talking about though?
Yeah. I know you're talking about. I can't. I'm not
He
sure.
grew his hair
Yeah,
out.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't even know if huddle was really a thing when I was this was back 2011, 2012.
Yeah, it was around.
Was it
I don't
around?
know if you used it, but
I don't think we used, I don't think we used that. I think we were just behind on everything. So, or maybe we used it the following year, but all I know is my head coach.
oh no, you talking about huddle the program? Okay, yeah. I'm thinking you talking about like defensive huddle. I'm like, oh, it's still around. Okay, yeah, huddle. It could. I think so. It's probably we running the introduction stage though.
So my dad was always, he was pretty savvy because he would create his own presentations or like if he did a sermon or he would go and work with guys in prisons. My head coach gave us all the CDs from that season. And to be honest, I'm so thankful for my father because I think I would have got recruited, but not as heavily.
Right.
I think a strong father is so important.
Yeah. What did he do?
For me?
Yeah. What did he do for you that shows you that man gratitude outside of being a father?
I was so what did he do for me? What are you saying?
Like just because you was expressing a lot of gratitude, right? That's how you want to kind of focus in on like what he actually did, because a lot of times fathers get skipped over and we don't necessarily hear about
Right.
those days that he spent with you and the time he built you up and how he cultivated you into the man that you are. We just kind of gloss over it, but we kind of give the mothers all the credit in regards to the parenting side.
Right.
And a lot of dads don't want no credit at all, but I do like to highlight when the father steps in and actually do it, because we have so much context in regards to when they make the mistake and not show up.
So my dad's a great example of not repeating a cycle. No, my grandfather was great.
Right.
Great person.
Right.
Probably not the best father towards him. Just wasn't really a loving father.
Yeah.
Very quiet, introverted guy. So it was really just his mom that was really involved with her. So I know for my dad, that had to have been something for him that he wanted to be a very involved father and
Right.
be there emotionally. And my dad is very stoic in ways as well. So like, he'll hide emotions. So like, and I had to learn that as a father because like even with work or whatever's going on and stresses, you got to learn to even in front of your kids.
Right. You can't
Better
bring one home.
swallow.
Yeah.
Bring it home.
Right.
And he did a great job at that. You know, he was a rock in a lot of situations that we had gone through. You know, man, it was just the undying support. You know, no matter what I wanted to do, he didn't force it on me. My dad wasn't like my dad's a large man. You know,
Right.
barely probably fits to this door. He's very broad.
Okay.
It's like a Viking. My mom was more the runner, played basketball.
Right. Right.
My
Right.
mom was a Marine.
Okay.
Wild,
Super athlete.
Sicilian wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, but my dad though, I mean, he, you know, not always there, nonstop support. Mom was very loving. You know, she gave me a lot of support, but it was more just at home. It was hard for her to handle crowds and
Right.
go to my games. You know, I can't blame her. She had
Right.
struggled with PTSD and sort of stuff. So it was hard for her a lot of times to be in crowds. She didn't handle them very well. So I do remember that bothering me a little bit
Right.
as a kid. You know, not seeing my mom out in the stands.
Yeah.
Would never hold it against her because she was dealing with some stuff.
Right. 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 That you know.
You know, but my dad was the type where like he got so into it. You know,
Oh, he dialed in.
He would make the little bells. You see little cowbells. The guy would pass them around the stadium. You got everyone.
Yeah.
You know, to answer what you were saying, he was just a great, strong father that you know, I can call and rely on at any time. Very thankful for him. I'll go into later on the kind of like my story as it evolved with him and things that have happened that are just really unfortunate. And it was really, really hard to deal with and see him have to deal with it. But yeah, so anyways, back to my junior year, we burned a bunch of CDs
Okay.
from the game, and he makes me a custom highlight tape. Boom. Send it out to a recruiter. I believe it was Ricky Saylor and Romy. They got it out. And I think it was like a week later, man, I got a scholarship from like University of Massachusetts just from tape.
Really?
Yeah, UMass.
So y'all shipped them all out. How many you say you shipped out?
I don't. I don't know who. I don't know who was shipping them out.
Oh, you don't even know who shipped them out. You just you made them and somebody got a hold of them and
I
they
guess the recruiting guy sent them out to everyone.
very interesting.
And it's like once one person finds out, everyone does.
Yeah, I had a similar story. I was in high school and where I'm from is a basketball city. So Reggie Bullard, Jerry Stackhouse, Cedric Maxwell, Cornbread Maxwell,
why
he
you're
was
playing now.
MVP, right? So I'm from a basketball city and I was playing football to kind of basically stay in shape. When I did that, actually somebody from the stands recorded me playing football
No.
and sent it to where I later went to was a prep school. And I went to called Hargrave Military Academy. So I did that. And then once I did that, I went from basically not necessarily getting recruited at all to like everybody and their mama offered me a scholarship.
We had two players just like, maybe not exactly like that with the recording, but two players that got into like a prep school. I think it was Michael Penix.
Okay, yeah.
He was at my high school. He was a lot way younger than me, but my dad went to high school with his dad. The other one was Nate Craig Myers. He was like the #1 receiver. It didn't pan out too well for him, college football. I'm not too sure what happened, but he was a great player in high school. But that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Well, freaking recording.
Literally. Because I'm from, like I said, I'm from a small town as well. And so so the goal in my town is to graduate high school and get in an industrial job. And if you did that, you're in the upper echelon of like life.
Guess what's gonna happen with those people now? I know this is off topic,
But
I think those people are gonna soar because AI is taking over a lot of these service-based jobs.
you have to build something. Like, the AI is great and it can help you. So to me, I look at the tool as, and we sidetrack, but we'll get back on track.
Yeah.
But I look at it as a tool to delete time. Like the whole programming and planning to delete that, you can cut that out by using AI. But the implementation of actually building something,
Right.
like it actually takes a skill set and you actually have to be hands-on because
Right.
the stuff that you're trying to build, even like, whether it's, I know you're into the tech world with like data centers or cars or even that robots or whatever like that.
It's piquing my biggest interest.
Yeah, you have to do it. You got to be built. It ain't gonna just be like, it ain't gonna just appear because
They need somewhere. Or they need somewhere to store all this data. So like even these companies, they scale and they grow. They need somewhere to store the data. You look at Amazon, you look at all these different places.
incredible asset when you get it. So
that's why I think like these kids coming out of school. I mean, these trade jobs, like even like these electricians.
right.
I mean, I got a buddy making crazy money right now. He's a plumber.
Nobody wants to do it.
And I know guys who went and got their masters and all this and that, and they still are just getting by.
And that's the thing. But the trade job is winning right now.
winning.
Nobody's talking about it,
winning.
but because nobody wants to do it, you get to elevate your price
Right.
because the demand is there.
Right.
So now you get to up your price 2 or 3x because there's no job that nobody there to do it. I think it's gonna take a lot of maybe 100 years from now, but I think it's gonna take a lot of time for people to actually get used to robots. You know what I'm saying? I think they're dehumanizing us now with like
I
the
wrote
self checkout and stuff like that. Like they're trying to get us with COVID, the self checkout, X, Y, and Z. I don't think that we would be comfortable with robots for at least another 50 or 100 years, like for sure.
pretty real skeptical of the Neuralink.
Yeah.
You know, but I've seen it help people from videos I've watched. I mean, the problem is people keep saying, "Oh, it's the what do they call it, the
Mark of the beast, yeah.
but I don't know, man. I mean, who knows?
It could be
I mean,
used as a tool of that, but I don't
Right.
necessarily think that that's like
Right.
the intention or the intention behind the design. I tell people all the time because a lot of people get curious about like firearms and things of that nature. I'm like, it's never the firearm; it's always the person. So you can kill somebody with a fork, you can kill somebody with a firearm. It depends on the person. It's never the actual fork that killed them. It's like the person who actually engaged with the
Well,
fork.
it's just like this. If you want to go get drugs, illegal drugs, you could probably go find them, right? Pull
Easily,
up to Atlanta,
correct.
right?
Easily,
Pull up to Tampa, like
right.
find drugs. Well, if they ban guns,
It's probably half of the guns, of the total guns that they think that they are aware of. Add half of that to illegal guns.
right?
So it's like it's no way you'll ever be able to control a gun.
That's why at the end of the day, it's a mental health crisis and issue.
Right.
You know, we'll get into that because it's
Yes.
a whole thing.
We'll get through that.
Opinions that I have probably because I've watched how it's changed me as a person. I had to like take a step back and be like, "Whoa, dude! Like,
Right.
you're becoming somebody that
That's it has to be.
that's
Talk a little bit about because you had an incredible team at UF.
yeah."
So we kind of covered the high school, but now I kind of want to get into more like
The-
where you at with where you was at with the college and
Yeah.
how that transitioned from just starting out as a freshman, introduced to the sport to now you're talking about going to the University of Florida
Mhm.
as a football player.
Okay, I'll get okay.
So
Yeah. So
break that down for me.
I got to tell you one quick story.
Oh, go ahead.
One quick one.
Yeah, I'm with it.
I start getting recruited pretty heavily.
Okay.
All these probably 20, 30 scholarships, whatever it is. And it was crazy because all of a sudden all my teammates started getting recruited, and Alabama at school, all these schools. Georgia was one of the schools that was probably that was the one to offer me when we come to a camp.
Right.
I remember going to a camp, and I was like the number one tackle or guard or whatever, one-on-ones, and I'll come off the ball, we go against you, pop me in the
Right.
nose. I was
Oh,
getting pissed off. I was a quick temper kid.
yeah, for sure.
I come off the ball again, pops me in the nose. This time I'm bleeding. So I'm like, all right, I'm about to smack this dude.
Right,
So I
right.
came off the ball, his hand going up here. We're not wearing a helmet. And I just slapped the dog shit out of this air. I
Right.
fell on the ground and kind of got into it. And can't remember who was the coach at the time, the head coach. He was like, oh, we don't want that around here. I'm like, senior year, left early. I graduated early from high school. And to go to enroll at Florida early because I knew I was going to be pretty behind because a lot of these guys, especially my position, I was real nervous, man.
Right.
I was very confident in high school and where I played. But when I was going to a big school like that, I was real nervous because, I mean, you're around all these five-star guys and top guys and number one players and all this and that. And I think what I struggled in the beginning was confidence, but all I knew was how to work.
Right.
So I guess you could say what really helped me was being probably one of the stronger guys always. I'd been into weightlifting.
Right.
I got into weightlifting, going back to high school again. I was a 225 bench press guy as a freshman, and my dad was like, "Oh, you gotta start taking creatine, son." So I got on creatine.
Oh, quick.
Man, I was benching 450.
Oh, in high school you was on creatine. Listen, that's a different
It
world.
was like crazy strong.
Yeah.
Set my clean and jerk. I had a video that blew up for recruiting. It was
Okay.
clean. It was real sloppy, terrible technique. I cleaned 315
Easy.
and jerked it. Just natural,
Wow.
brute strength.
Yeah.
And that helped translate,
Okay.
because I had a strength coach. This is what's wild. My strength coach at the time, old gold guy Gaffney walked up to me and he was like, the one lift that you can really translate on the field is this clean.
Yes, sir.
And it's jerk.
Yeah.
And he's like, with the weight you're moving, you can go to some places. And then once I started getting recruited, clicked that he had told me that. So anyways, back to Florida. I get to Florida, and it's a transition, man. I'm 17 that just turned 18. I grew up a Gator fan, so I knew I wanted earlier,
Even bigger.
Part of me wanted to go to Florida State for some reason to be different.
Right.
But my whole family were Gators. I had a few aunts that went to Florida State.
Okay.
Right when I go to Florida, Florida State wins the national championship with Jameis Winston.
Right.
Crazy. So I'm at Florida, man, and it was tough.
I can only imagine.
No technique.
Okay.
I was a get off the ball guy.
Okay.
I made plays that was faster, bigger, stronger than everyone else. But when you get to college, everyone's faster, bigger, stronger.
Everybody's faster, bigger, and stronger.
So I get there, man, and the offensive line, all these guys I was going against, me had John Harrison, who lives here now. Actually, I
Really?
connected with him.
Okay.
You remember him?
Yeah, I do remember.
He
Yeah.
played with the Jets for a little bit.
Yeah. I'm not
Right
sure.
after you.
Yeah, I don't think he was
He did 10
before
years.
me. Okay, yeah.
He was from Jamaican.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know of him. I don't know personally, but yeah, I know of him.
But though, John Hall Pio was another guy, great guy. Pio, he was next to him. Chaz Green, who played for a long time in the league. DJ Humphries, who was another one. DJ was a beast. Out of all of them, DJ probably intimidated me the most as a freshman.
Really?
As DJ, you look at it, it's like, God, this guy, so DJ did not have an offensive line. So most offensive linemen, I love my offensive linemen, man. Like, they're laid back.
Yeah.
I'm kind of nerdy kind of guys, a lot of them real, but those are my kind of people, right?
Right.
I like everybody. DJ was a D lineman at heart.
Yes, sir.
Dog.
But he don't.
But he was all like, those are the ones where you're like, all right,
Yeah.
he's ready to play.
So aggressive.
Every day.
Not very well for technique wise, but
Right.
the mentality wise for sure.
Right. That's where that snatch pull.
Right.
I would see him and Dante going at it, Fowler every day, coming in as a freshman, 18, and going against these guys. I'm not playing. I'm not playing right away. I'm scouting this guy, but I had a chip on my shoulder. I wanted to play.
Right.
I wanted to play. Looking back, I wish I didn't play towards the end of the year, but kind of how it panned out is I remember first experience. I had gone against John Hall Pio and Harrison. They put me down in the trenches and
Yeah.
toughened me up because I came in as a defensive end. Okay. That's what I originally was playing. So they moved me inside. Scout team, I played everything. Scout team playing everything.
You just bounce around.
Just bounce around.
Yeah.
These guys pancaked the hell out of me. But I got I think that was the rude awakening for me.
Tell me about that. Just the appearance, like what was the rage that came over you once you got fed?
The part is looking back at these two, they're good guys. But hey, when they talk crap, it's in their own way. It's not like aggressive. It's just like it's very hard to explain it. But it got to me.
It's passive, but it is. Yeah.
It got to a point where I was like, this is not gonna be me. Not gonna be me. So I just put my brought my lunch bucket every day, and I was just getting to work. NFL was never, again, this is all new to me. So NFL was still,
You're not even thinking about that.
We're going at it at practice, and that was back in 2013. We had Jeff Driscoll as a quarterback. Don't think we didn't have the best season. So actually, originally I got recruited by Dan Quinn, who was with the Falcons, and Bryant Young, who I always looked up to, unbelievable guy. Those two, and Will Muschamp. So he was our head coach. But that guy, a fiery head coach. I've seen him cuss some people out now. But yeah, so I had a D-line coach named Brad Long, who was actually Jadeveon Clowney's coach. God rest his soul. He had passed away, I think, a couple years ago. I love Brad. He was great. Long was a great guy, had a great heart, but not the type of coach for me.
Right.
Because he would get on you and wouldn't lift you up. He would lift you up maybe later on in the locker room. But certain players need certain coaches. I need a reinforcement coach. I need somebody that's going to yell at me and say, son, you're better than that. You're better than that. Like, I don't need a coach that's going to say, you're garbage. You don't belong.
Yeah, I'm not that guy. Like, I was traumatized early on about like the cussing out and things like that.
Exactly.
Like, to me, I always felt like I'm not the player for that. Now, I've seen guys that I grew up with and guys that I've played with to be that person of like, they need that and it just lights them up and they just become this. To me, I go into like defense mode.
So I came in with a guy named Caleb Brantley,
Okay.
highly, highly recruited D tackle, unbelievable talent. It'll blow you away how talented he is. He'd be a top 5 D tackle right now, 100%. He had a crazy situation, and I'll kind of progress into it. So me and Caleb, he's from Polk County, from Pasco County, right by each other.
Yep.
We were real close. We were getting recruited together. Caleb will be another great guy to bring on here.
Okay. Yeah.
He's fantastic.
I love to hear the story.
He's been through a lot. He's pushed through a lot. I'm proud of him. He's a great guy. So me and Caleb got really, really close. And we were just on this grind together.
Yeah.
And my recruiting class we had a crazy class. It was like me, a guy named Matt Rowland, one of my best friends, and Alex Anzalone, who's started linebacker for the Lions. Jordan Sherritt, Marcel Harris, who played for a long time, for quite a while in the league. Keanu Neal, everyone knows that name.
Keanu Neal. Yep.
He was a beast, man. Nick Washington, Ahmad Fullwood. I mean, there's a ton of them. Daniel McMillan, Calvin Taylor, Fred Taylor's son. Crazy, I can remember all these names.
You are. I kind of told people Joey is kind of an NFL college historian.
No, okay.
Football historian.
Yeah,
I think
what's wild about that is I can't remember names ever, but I can remember those. Yeah, man. So I had a great class, great players. Vernon Hargraves was another one. I mean, we were stacked.
Right.
Stacked. It was my freshman year. I ended up towards the end of the year. Finally got a start. And I got in a scooter accident and cut the back of my Achilles. Had to get like 20 stitches on the back. It was raining and it slipped and it just was spinning.
Oh.
Sliced the back of my heel.
so. Like the skin or
Skin.
your actual.
No, the skin. Almost cut my Achilles. So that would maybe ruin my career.
Yeah, it would have been horrific. Yeah.
Horrific.
At that time, we didn't have the necessary science and technology.
Right. So every day my first year, I just would come to work, getting better and better and improving. Brad Long used to tie these things around her hands, keep her hands tight.
Yeah.
You ever see those?
Yep.
Used to piss me off.
I did it before.
Who would do that?
Yeah.
I just had a hard time. I started to not really love football, partially because we were always getting chewed out. I think Brad really he took a liking towards me because coaches spend a lot of time and they give someone a lot of attention if they see the potential. And he would do that to me and Caleb Brantley a lot.
Okay.
And me and Caleb were really the future of the D-line, what was to come next.
Right.
You had your guys. Dominic Easley was still there.
Dominic Easley. Yeah.
Man.
I rock with Dominic. He down here.
Huh?
He's down here.
Yeah, he's down here.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him since college. When I was in high school, I used to love when you used to walk out with that Chucky doll. I mean, I was like, this guy's
He's insane.
he's insane.
Yeah. I played with him at the Rams.
Man, he's like that contagious, hilarious, loud laugh.
Yeah.
You know?
He's from New York.
New York accent.
Yeah, sir.
So I used to watch him and Sharif Floyd. Sharif is the nicest human being, man. He's like a teddy bear. My wife,
Polar opposites.
they're just, but Sharif was, they're both unbelievable. So like, there's a lot. That was part of the reason like Florida was known for having a stout D line. You know?
Right.
You had Ronald Powell and all these guys, and there's a big list of guys. So I ended up towards like my freshman year, like wanting to play defensive end, which it was real heavy competition, and I just started to get bigger and bigger. I got to the point where I was like 300 pounds, and 295 was a good playing weight. So I was more on the interior 3 tech. I played in nose. I wanted to play 3 mainly, but I would sometimes play nose because Caleb was at the time and better pass rusher too.
Yeah.
But we at some point just would play left, right. Going into my sophomore year, ended up getting some starts and really start to figure ball out.
Yeah.
But it was just a rough time because that's when they were firing the whole coaching staff. They got rid of Will Muschamp. It's brutal. If you're not winning, you got the whole share booing you and everything.
Yeah.
Champ was
The swamp ain't normal. Talk to me how that transition happened when y'all, had a transition with coaches and y'all were losing.
People just didn't care, man. I mean, guys that knew they were going to the league were preparing for that. It was my sophomore year. We had Trenton Brown there. No, maybe it was my junior year. I think it was my junior year. Biggest lineman I'd ever seen in my life. You ever seen
Brown?
Trenton Brown?
I didn't realize. Nah.
You know what I'm talking about, though?
I know of him. I don't know.
He's 6'9", 360 pounds, and he's freakishly athletic. He played basketball his whole life.
Oh, okay.
So he's one of those.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Real quiet.
Yeah.
Real nice guy. He's like a farmer kind of guy. I think he has a big ranch now. I think he still plays ball too. But the transition though was crazy because People just stopped caring. I mean, we had when I think it was DJ Durkin that took over, we had so many padded practices in a row. There was one time where everyone just was like threw all their pads in the hallway and said, "F this," everyone. And the coaches kind of like they came in the locker room like, "Well, it's the first time you guys came together as a team to do something." You know?
Wow.
Another time we didn't want padded practices and they turned the whole these guys were crazy. We turned the whole team room into a club. They took lights and
I'm a rebel, so I love all this.
I mean, this was crazy, but everyone it was either you're all in or you're all out, or so that's what the good part about it was everyone was all in. We got real close towards the end, but it was rough. And then when Jim McElwain came in, you don't know what to expect, but when the message that Muschamp left us with, and I respect him for it big time, he said they gotta buy in 100%.
Right.
Have to
Yeah.
buy in because if you don't, you need to leave because it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work for you. I mean, if you don't
Gonna expose you quick.
right. So McElwain came in and all of us really started to buy in.
Okay.
I mean, it didn't really work out for him. I think it was a little over his head. We ended up having my junior year. I'm starter. It's my year to have my year to shine. I'm
Right.
starting. Me, Caleb Brantley. We got Brian Cox, Jonathan Bullard. But we had a solid, real solid defense. I mean, had Keanu behind me, Marcus May.
Okay.
or May.
Yeah, I remember.
Marcus May next to him. They
Yeah.
Muschamp. People realize Muschamp. This guy, he can recruit now. I mean, look at Georgia and their defense. Right? He finds these defensive players. He finds guys that no one knows about. 2,
Right.
3-star guys. He just knows how to find them and put them on the map. So then we had like Quincy Wilson on one side and Jalen Tabor on the other. Vernon Hargraves, Alex Anzalone, Jared Davis, who was a first-round linebacker behind me.
Yep. Jared.
Tony Morrison.
Yep.
Well, I loved that guy, man.
Okay.
Loved him. Tone was so intimidating to most people, even at first to me.
Yeah.
I really got to know him. He can't speak without saying the F word. And I F this, F that.
Right.
Real aggressive from Chicago. Just one of those guys that just like go headbutt his locker.
Yeah. Yes.
So off the wall.
Yeah.
Like it was like war for him,
For sure.
Which was for us, but it's just he took it to another level.
Yeah.
It's great. And
Wild card.
Keanu Neal was actually he was an interesting one because I'll never forget this. He's the sweetest, nicest guy in the world. And, known him since high school, small country town. But when it comes to the game, this dude is like he's a beast, man. He unlocks this monster inside of him. I remember I walked up to him, put my hand on his shoulder, was like, Kiki. He looked at me and he's just like, his eyes just looked like, I'd never seen that. Like it was like a monster.
Right.
Like this dude was like possessed.
Yeah.
I saw him come downhill one time and smack somebody and hum afterward. Like to himself.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I got a beast behind me. So he went to the league and he was all over ESPN with all these hits. I knew that you just knew. I
Knew that they were cool.
We did some trick play. We threw all these scouts. We had like 20 scouts on the sideline. Yeah. We did a trick play and they threw a ball to an offensive tackle for some reason. I don't know what they were thinking. All of a sudden, Kiki comes down there,
smack.
He folded Derrick Henry one play. I mean, I played for Derrick. That's one of the biggest. I've never seen like it outside of outside of Jacobs.
Yeah, Brandon.
Yeah, so my junior year, we ended up making it to the SEC championship. We were unbelievable, our team. Unbelievable. We had an amazing offense. All these guys, all the starters basically made it to the league on both sides. DeMarcus Robinson was one of our receivers.
Okay.
I mean, we were stacked. Everything.
How the way good.
Will Greer got popped with a failed drug test. And I don't know exactly the details, but I know that McElwain wasn't playing around with that. Somehow, I would have, if I'm the head coach.
Performance or drugs?
Performance. So I'm doing whatever it takes to get him back into the season.
Right.
So this guy, he ends up getting benched, suspended or
whatever
for a bit. And it kind of like, we still made it to an SEC championship. We're not going to beat Bama without him.
Without him, right?
So we had some solid guys. We had Jack Del Rio's son, Luke. He did solid. Austin Appleby, he did okay, and he's a coach now. When you're a quarterback, there's a lot of pressure. So even if you are a good player, like Jeff Driscoll's a good example.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody.
It's hard.
It's hard.
So y'all was playing prime Alabama. This is when they Starting to sack up this year. Yeah, Saban or whatever.
So we were in a game with them 2 years in a row. My junior, senior year, our defense kept us alive.
Yeah.
Turnovers. It was all about turnovers, making plays, and we couldn't capitalize on offense. I don't point fingers, but that was absolutely what it was. And
Right.
Treon Harris was our quarterback. Treon Harris is a South Florida kid. I liked Treon and did, but I don't think he took it seriously enough because he was more of a mobile, shorter quarterback, kind of like guy for the Cardinals.
Kyler Murray.
Same body.
Yeah.
You know, when I had heard that people were taking this quarterback test for him, that pissed me off. I never said anything to him, but
Yeah. Wasn't a school guy, or was it just we're pushing him through?
one of the other quarterbacks was helping him,
Just pushing him through.
pushing him through.
Yeah.
I don't say
Big
you're the
difference.
quarterback, man. You got to be 100%. I mean,
It's too much responsibility for you not to be on
start
point.
teasing.
Yes.
You know, that's our livelihood. Let me go back. So really, what got me into this mentality of wanting to make it to the pros was start seeing all these guys around me going to the next level.
Yeah.
I'm like, I never knew I had the ability to play
Right.
until I just continuously got better. But what really tipped everything was back in 2015. Right outside the stadium at the University of Florida, everyone has a moped, so we're riding around campus, and
Yeah.
I'm going to get my moped. I get a call from my mom. I hadn't talked to my mom in a while. I'm like,
Right.
hello? She's like, your sister had been in a car accident. You need to get down here somehow. I didn't have a car, so I just had my moped.
Notepad, right?
So I borrowed a car, and my mom is the type to exaggerate.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how serious it was. So I get down there, and my sister, she was a week away from graduating. She was driving in a car with her boyfriend at the time, and he was in his Mustang. And my dad had always told him, don't speed with my daughter in the car. So, young knucklehead didn't listen to him, and, killed his girlfriend, my sister. So, they were driving. She hit a tree and
So he lost control.
lost control. He broke his arm. That was it. She hit her head so hard that, he got put in a coma, and we had, thousands of people praying all over.
Yeah.
I had unbelievable support, man.
Right.
I didn't know I was loved till,
That day,
support
that moment.
happened. Yeah, and it helped me get through it. But it was, I remember going into the hospital and being there with my parents, and we had ended up having to take her off life support. My parents didn't want us to be there, and I'm the oldest of 5. I'm like, I got to be there.
Right.
That was really really hard for me to watch. So I'm gonna get into a spiritual side of it.
Yeah.
So
You go.
I don't know if I've ever shared this. I've shared with people, but not
Yeah.
podcast wise. So when my sister passed away, she was well known in my school for just being a real compassionate, loving person, strong faith, would sit with, kids that got bullied. She took felt called to go sit with people that were by themselves, and very kind. And so during that whole time I was Mustang, Will give me like an extra week. Whatever I needed, I could stay home.
Right.
I loved how he treated me because he knew I had some stuff going on at home even before that.
Right.
He would give me extra time. He was always take care of your family.
Right.
And I appreciated that about him.
That's amazing.
And when you got someone like that,
Yeah, that's major.
play hard for him.
Yeah. That's not normal.
Right.
Yeah.
During that whole time, girls were coming over to the house and talking about how she helped them, and they were attempting, thinking about suicide, and people were bringing it. It was crazy.
Right.
It was at my grandparents' house, and we had a memorial, and all my teammates came. That was me, man. A lot of people showed up, but it was real tough. And we did something. Me and my brothers had to speak, and the whole auditorium was filled up, the whole cafeteria, and thousands of people.
Yeah.
A whole small town, everyone came together, and
So love about him.
oh,
Yeah.
man,
She was loved about.
it was unreal.
Definitely.
For my family, it was just watch how it affected my parents was the hardest part. It was it was basically on my dad's birthday when it happened, and it was his only year. And how he's pushed through is just unreal. It affected my mom really.
Right.
It was tough, but looking back, man, I feel some guilt and shame a little bit because I don't feel like I was there enough for my 2 younger siblings. I was so involved in ball and my fight football and everything that came with it, that my own trauma I dealt with through doing stuff like this. Football became it was my outlet, but it was also now I had someone to really play for. So every game I'd write her name on my wrist, and I had someone to play for every day. So anytime I didn't feel like playing or practicing,
It gave you purpose. It meaningless. Yeah.
yeah, that's the purpose we're supposed to have with God, right?
For sure.
That's the purpose I had
For his
time was
yeah.
my sister. Um, so my junior year though, when McElwain came in, I had a coach named Chris Rump. Coach Rump, he's a DN's coach for Clemson. Most impactful, incredible person that ever came in my life. So I was a coach, screamed like crazy when I first got there.
Right.
I heard him say a cuss word. It was
Impressive.
it was always, you're better than that. This is
Right.
garbage. This is garbage, but you're better than that. It was a
Accountability, well, I build you up as well.
yeah, positive reinforcement
Mhm.
coach, right? He was a player's coach and a mentor and just a great guy. I still talk to him. That's when I've spent some time with him. Got unbelievably close with him, man. I mean, he just love him, love him,
Right.
love him. Like his family and his whole family, wife, kids. He had helped me a lot getting through that. I had a lot of support of my teammates. I guess part of it was weird because like the Jordan thing happened the year before. What was it? It was actually, I think it was my senior year of high school. I didn't mention this. I had one of my first best friends when I'm 16 years old. I'd never smoked weed in my life.
Right.
First dude I'd ever smoked with. I remember going home and telling my dad. I felt so ashamed.
Guilty conscious.
Well, we got real close. His name was John Michael Kilgannon, great guy.
Okay.
Could have been a D1 athlete. He had dealing with some mental health stuff, and he passed away. I think it was suicide, and that really affected me. It bothered me a lot. I felt real bad. We had lost touch over the year, but we were supposed to hang out, and then a week later, this happened. So we already had that going on in the back of my head. And then when my sister happened, it was just
Oh, so he had been before
months
us
before.
before.
So it was like, I was like, wow, like life was short, man. Life.
Yes, that's hitting you hard.
My younger brother, Andrew Ivie, this kid he's a freak. He's shorter, 6'1", but he's more of a bulky. He's a physical therapist now.
Okay.
Brilliant mind, very smart. I'm not the smartest guy. He was the
Scholar.
the brains, right?
Yeah.
But he broke weightlifting records in high school. He was just unbelievably strong. He's like right now top 3% non-steroid for powerlifting. He still does it today. 29 years old.
29. Oh, he bad. He was
He was heavily recruited. He got a bunch of wrestling scholarships too for like West Point and Notre Dame, like highly recruited. But he wanted to play football with me. Me and him were so close. So he came to Florida and had a back injury and could never play football again.
What kind of back injuries?
We had to get an epidural. I don't remember exactly the name of it. But basically, he's still mad to this day because he proved everyone wrong with the lifting he's doing. Right. He should have never stopped playing football. They honored his scholarship and everything, but still, I mean.
Yeah, that's a tricky place.
He was a nose and a center.
Okay.
And so he would have been realistically, with his brain, like a gray center. I think he'd played next level for sure.
Right.
He was athletic, big.
Yeah, and he has strength. Yeah.
He's like, Arizona had a center. I was like 6'1" at one point. I can't remember his name. Real thick guy, strong guy. Can't remember the guy's name. But yeah, anyways, so me and him had a way to deal with it. And then I had two younger brothers at home. So I felt a little guilt later on in life, realizing they had to figure out their own way to deal with it. But yeah, I had just such a great coach. And my junior year, towards the end of the year, I ended up missing a few games. I had a few injuries. I tore my meniscus. And then I had surgery and they rushed me back for the SEC championship game.
Right.
I was back in 2 weeks. And I should have never did that.
Yeah. I was gonna say it was crazy.
It opened up a can of worms.
Yeah, 2 weeks after meniscus.
It opened up a can of worms for issues with my knee.
So you went right into surgery. You didn't even do too much
surgery.
treatment. Yeah.
Right in surgery, I did my recovery stuff. Slowly got back into it and played in the game.
Yeah.
Ever since then, I had knee issues.
Yes.
Back then, I had another meniscus tear, partial ACL, partial patella. It's having good.
And that's the rain hill. It never heals.
I feel great now though, because I changed. Part of it was diet and getting low inflammatory. If I eat like crap food, I feel it. But like as long as I'm clean and I'm moving around,
Right.
I do a lot of natural anti-inflammatories. I feel great. That same year, we were playing Missouri, and I'm chasing the quarterback to the sideline. I just felt a pop in my stomach. I had a sport hernia surgery. I had a rip all the way across, and they didn't want me to have the surgery. And they were like, "You got to finish the season. We need you." I can't remember. This is heavy duty anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
Or like take this for 10 days. They'll take all the inflammation out. You'll be able to play. Well, I was doing that in rehab and missed a couple games, 3 games, 4 games. and I also missed games for my knee, and ended up playing out the season. Had a decent season. Then I was prepping for my senior year. At that point, I knew that I had the ability to. I was the type of guy who would do crazy stuff at practice, and guys would say, "Oh, you can be a like probably not first round guy, but second, third,
And get
fourth
into the
round
league.
guy, get a chance to get into the league." Had a great off season senior year, kind of similar to the junior year, make it to the SEC championship, but I break my hand halfway through and miss like 5 weeks, crucial games. Needed that tape,
Right.
and just kept pushing through. And push came to shove at the end of the season. I'm meeting with my coach. I'm like, should I try to appeal my freshman year as a redshirt
Sure,
year? Because technically I played in over 3 games, but I had that accident, and I was hoping it would count. And there was a chance for me to get another year in Earth. I was told that I could, if I left, I was able to go fourth, fifth, or third, anywhere from third to fifth round. Just took a chance on it, and ended up actually not getting a combine invite, which was crazy.
Right.
My draft class was pretty stacked.
All right, so we're going into transitioning into the league now. How, before we get there, what was going through your head as you was healing from the injury, contemplating whether or not you should redshirt your freshman year to go back while still getting guidance that's saying that, hey, they're projected to go third through fifth? Like, what's going through your head? How are you battling all of this at one time?
Man, to be honest with you, I was very confident because I knew my ability. Rupp really got my confidence up like crazy. He had coached a lot of guys like Jaron Reed, and he was telling me certain things, certain attributes, certain things about players, and that would reassure me that I was gonna be able to play a long time.
Right.
And I have people like Booger McFarland say he's played 10 years in the league, and I hear all these things. So it's all noise, right?
Okay.
Really, as a player, you need to block all that out, positive or negative,
Mhm.
and you need to focus on each day. Not focus about what's gonna happen tomorrow, what happened yesterday. I feel like I fell into that a little bit. I see all these players around me going first round and this and that, and thinking I'm gonna go high. I didn't end up getting a combine invite, which was crazy. But then people realize this draft class matters.
Tell me, because I never experienced this, but how they notify you whether or not you get a combine? Like they tell you that
The agent,
the agent,
I believe so.
he just communicated to you. There wasn't like no
I
type
bel-
of formal
I believe so. Did you do the combine?
Yeah, I did it. Yeah, but I never understood the other side of it. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not sure. That hurt me though, because I saw all my teammates I was with go,
But you was there. Yeah.
but that kind of brought me back in. I was like, dang, maybe I'm not gonna go where I want to go. So I went and played the East-West Shrine game
Yeah.
and had a crazy practice. Didn't lose a one-on-one.
Yeah.
I evolved into a pass rusher because I was a stout hybrid. Where I could rush the passer, but I could also stop the run. To where after my knee surgery, I wasn't that's a shock absorber. So I really had to rely on technique to really.
Yes.
Even 4 years in the league, I had
To
to
get
really,
you through. Right.
so I had to really transition into more of the rush game. I was like, dang, I can actually, I was more trying to finesse rush. That it would always shock people because I was the stereotypical white D lineman is bring your and this is the thing about the league. It's the bring your lunch bucket to work. You're gonna bull rush everyone. You're gonna stick your nose in there, stick your hat in the crack.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I wanted to be that swaggy finesse.
Yeah. They gifted.
You see with the guy with the what's that guy's name? With the Broncos. That guy's a beast.
John Miller? Well, you mean now? You mean now?
Yeah. There's a D tackle with the Broncos. That guy's a beast. That's how I envisioned myself.
Oh, okay. Not a Matt Crosby or nothing like that.
I mean, I wish, man.
Jared Allen.
So that's when I was coming out. That's what people would always say. That's what's funny.
Yeah, but it was.
They would always say
Jared.
but Jared Allen was 6'7".
He didn't look nothing up since 7.
He's not?
I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know. We're just different body types,
he's a different body type. A guy came out with Derek Wolf, played for Broncos.
beast.
He's yeah.
I knew his step.
We never liked each other, but I respected it.
I never met him.
Yeah. He's a good dude. I just think that there was rivalry, and then he felt like I guess he earned a better position than I did in some situations.
Right.
And when you start looking at like projections and predictions, and then you see, you work. I may train with you or whatever, and you don't necessarily see the body of work. You just see what's going on now. So my drills may not look as sharp as your drills. So now you think that you're better than me because your drills look better.
Right.
those type of things I think kind of got in the way, and I was kind of, and a lot of people think that I was kind of arrogant a little bit, but it's not. I'm just like I didn't grow up loving this sport, and I didn't grow up like dealing with people. Like me and you hit it off because we naturally connected. But like if it didn't connect, it would have been like, yo,
Yeah,
you met Q, I met Joey. Like it wouldn't been like no
for sure.
issue or nothing. It's just like we just didn't connect. And I've met guys who was in the league and post the league, and it's like I don't connect with them. Like I would never do the interview with them or podcast. I wouldn't be opposed to it,
Mhm.
but it wouldn't be like I reached out to you and like, yo, I think we need to get on camera, or like I hang out with you in real life. Like we set up times and stuff that we're gonna do outside of this. So it's not even nothing that is fake here or business. Like it's just like we just talking on camera at this point. But it's more so sometimes in that ego prideful way, like we start measuring ourselves against each other, but it's not, real testament to like what's really going on.
Trust me, I get that. That happened in college at Florida for me against players that, and I won't name names, but that it was people were very nervous about losing their spot. Or
Right.
NFL's the same way. Even somebody you could be close with or become friends with, it's different because that's the guy you're competing against. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I tell this story all the time. When I was at North Carolina, me and Robert Quinn, we was
Robert Quinn?
together. Yeah, that's my bro. That's my bro.
Did that?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That so
Robert.
but
So he was a senior when you were.
no, we same grade. We same age. He had to leave early because we had an NCAA investigation, and he was quote unquote found guilty, which wasn't guilty, but quote unquote found guilty, and so he had to come out the lockout year instead of 2012. So he just declared for the draft, and he went early, but he's actually my class. We came in the same time and everything. But anyway, like then football was trying to like make us this rivalry, but the way that we came in the same class,
Mhm.
so it wasn't a opportunity for you to kind of split us. Now he was often into different things than I was, but when I seen him and he seen me, it was always love. Like we always had each other back no matter what. So then fast forward to time, the Jets playing the Rams. At this time he's and it's in St. Louis. They put on the screen my stats versus his stats, like to like divide us or whatever, like who's the better DN or whatever. So I started peeping like how they was doing it. Fast forward again, I go to LA and I'm thinking like I'm going into a situation where like I'm kind of halfway home because at that point in time, he had 18 and a half sack year, and he had made all pro and everything. So he's always been a freakish athlete. But at this point, I'm like, he already made a name for himself. So he's one of those guys in the league. And I'm like, I'm going to partner with him. So I'm like, I don't really gotta go nowhere where I gotta build a relationship with nobody. I don't gotta do any, type of politicking and then I can literally go in and just rock out with him or whatever. When I get there, we're good, but AD and Donald had just had an all pro year.
Best two tackles
And
of all
he
time.
no man, listen. Me and him don't get along neither. But here's the thing though. I tremendously respect them. And I've been in places where I don't get along with the people, but I never let that interfere with the respect that I have
Mhm.
for them. Like when I say God gifted,
Oh, it's unbelievable.
like it's unimaginable. So it's two things I've never seen. A D tackle that was better than AD and anybody bend the edge like Robert Quinn. You can't find it on film. I put money up. You can't find someone who can bend. Go back and look at his 18 and a half.
Frank
Go back and look at his 18 and a half
Sack
sacks
season.
year.
Yeah.
The highlight reel is unheard of. Like the way
Like
that
how someone's bending an edge running 50
it's,
miles an
it's
hour.
defying gravity.
Gravity. It just makes
Like, bruh, like there's no way. And the thing about it, I used to be jealous because I'm like,
that's why I wish
I want to do that. But he couldn't even teach it. That's that natural what gift it was. He couldn't even teach it. It was like, yo, I just want to do it. I don't necessarily want the skill set. I just want to be like, I want him to see that like I was able to do it.
when I look at you and I look at your frame, like I wish a coach would just grab you and said, "Man, you need to play 3 technique."
No, bro. Like I told you before,
Mhm.
off camera, I would have been in the league at least 10 or 12 years.
10,
I
12 years,
made I
100%.
made first round in the 3 technique
They moved you to outside line.
because I got drafted by. So here's the thing: I was supposed to go eighth to Carolina. I tell you a little story. So pre-draft, like a week before the draft,
Mhm.
um, Carolina comes to my manager house, sits in the living room, and they like, because at this point in time, like me, Andrew Luck, and RG3 are like flexing up to the board because you need a quarterback, you need a left tackle, and you need a DN. Like those top three positions, no matter what, right? And at this point, I don't know where Daquan Bowers had got into some trouble or he did something that kind of like messed with his stock a little bit. I don't know if he had like a couple bad games on the back end or whatever, but anyway, it had like kind of messed up his stock or whatever. So he wasn't in the picture like that no more. Carolina comes to the house and they like, yo, if you're there, and that's I'm they at 8 now. They was like, "Yo, if you there, we're gonna take you. We have you on the board to take you." And I was like, "This is dope," because everybody wanted me to like kind of be like the Peppers part two, and I was like, "No." Like even every interview, they'll be like, "Yeah, you know, Carolina, you Julius Peppers," and Julius Peppers is like he's from like 35 minutes from like where I stay at, like back home. So he's from Wilson, I'm from Kingston, which is like 20,
Where
30
no,
minutes.
where's Shelby?
Shelby is west. Yeah,
Is that
that's
close?
west. No, that's on the other side of
That's
it.
on the other side.
We
Okay.
east. Yeah, we by
Okay,
the
okay.
water. So every reporter, every interview I did, I'm like, yo, as I got into football, like Peppers was my guy.
Mhm.
And I was like, yo, I would never be that, but like that's the goal. That would be like the person that you look up to or whatever. He was special, bruh. So yeah, so boom, they were trying to make me this 8 pick or whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm preparing myself for that. So fast forward, we get to the green room, right? 8 pick come and they choose Luke, which was a hell of a pick.
Kuechly?
Yes,
Yeah.
which is a hell of a pick.
No offense, that's a crazy pick.
That was a crazy pick, but it fits him just like
That was the best thing
it
they
would
ever
have
did.
fit me
Right.
because they ran a 4-3.
That would've
I
you
went
said
to the New York Jets, who
which is a
ran the 3.
3-4. That's not you.
So
The only way that works is if you have a 300-pound frame, I feel like, are you play at 300 like, there was a guy named Ty Warren with the Patriots, for like 14 years.
the 3-4 wasn't an issue for me. The issue with me and my career was the fact that they expected me to get sacks
As a outside
as an outside linebacker.
3-4 as in you were a linebacker in a 3.
But this is when the
Mhm.
hybrid,
Were you
because they
bigger?
tried it with DeMarcus Lawrence and Von Miller and all
Didn't
them.
work.
They started throwing that hybrid DN out.
But, I mean, look at what the Patriots did with that 3-4. I mean, there's only certain teams that can really know how to build it out correctly. I'm a 4-3 guy all day, but
Yeah, but I ain't never
I'll
played in the 3-4.
throw off.
My first time in the 3-4 is in the league, in the NFL. So it was never that, and they drafted Muhammad Wilkerson, which I went to Hargrave with prior to,
Wilkerson.
where I went to Temple. Now he's coaching the Syracuse now. So I went to Hargrave with him. So me and him battled it out, and they had put him at the 3 technique.
Which one?
Muhammad Wilkerson, they put him at the 3 technique. 3 technique big
You
ends.
said Hargrave.
Military Academy. Yeah, in
Okay.
Chatham, Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah. So me and him went there. He was playing postgraduate. I was still in high school, but I played postgraduate football. Postgraduate was basically you graduated from high school, but you need credits to get into a university, and you got the talent, and so you will play Fort Union. You will play the JV teams, the club teams of the major universities.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I was in my last year of high school. I played Tennessee, West Virginia.
way.
Yeah, I'm playing that club team. It's cool, but it's a lot way tougher. You got guys that's trying to make the varsity squad, and then you going head to head with them, and you jumping
I didn't
from
even know
like
that was a thing. That's crazy.
small time high school football to that is
It's a
crazy.
crazy transition.
The Jets pick me, and then I go to that 3-4, and I'm playing the hybrid DN, and I'm dropping in the coverage a lot of the times. So I'm like, my numbers is not gonna ever be there if I gotta keep dropping seam flat in the hole, take the number one receiver out because we let go Revis after my first year. We let him go because he was up for a contract, but I think he got like hurt or whatever, and they didn't want to pay him. And then Patriots paid him and went and got a Super Bowl with him.
You're mentioning some names now. Darrell, son.
He was my locker mate. Like he was one. It was him, Chris Ivory, then Revis. He was actually my locker mate.
It
The
seems like
crazy
he
part,
was an awesome guy
man.
because
Like,
Dex would always talk about him.
listen, I've told him face to face. I'm like, bro, you're probably the most humble A-list celebrity ever. Like me and him used to go out. We went to some crazy parties, like some parties where you like checking yourself, like, bro, I know supposed to be here. Like my name is not even ringing bells at all in here. But like we went to these A-list parties or whatever, and like I was with him, and I always play security when which is kind of why I'm in the industry now. But I always play security when I go out with anybody I go. Like even if I go out with you, like no doubt you can handle yourself, but I'm always watching your back. I'm always making sure like nothing is happening or whatever. But I used to go out with him, and most humble person you'll ever meet. Like never carry his title or nothing. Like if you disrespect him, that's the only time you're gonna see him like flex on you. But like in regards to like, and he might not even do it then. He might just walk away. But for the most part, like he's the most humble A-list celebrity I've ever came in contact with. But anyway, yeah, go back to that. I ended up getting drafted by them, and it just throws everything off because when we cut him and he went to the Patriots, we drafted D. Miller. We had great coaches, but they didn't know how to put it together. So they were still stuck in like old school ways of coaching this transition into the phase that we in now. So we went from the old school get in your face, rah, 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 to like strategic and iPads and data analytics and stuff like that. Like we was transitioning out of that old school into that, and they just couldn't put us like they had all the most dopest, and I still use some of their defenses now when I'm like coaching or whatever. They had some of the most dopest concepts from a defensive scheme point, but
They're just cursed, man.
yeah, they couldn't get out their way, and that's a lot of coaches like Bill Belichick. Now I'm talking to people about it, like he can't get out his way. Like he's a great coach, but you're gonna fail when you never pivot and make an adjustment. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I understand like that whole dynamic of being out of position and not being able to play that or whatever. So what was it like getting that call? You didn't get invited, so then you did a pro day.
Yes, I did a pro day. What was wild was I was training for the bench press, right? And I ended up straining my pec, so I really didn't get to train for it. So I still hit a solid number, but it wasn't what I could. I mean,
Yeah.
I had 20 something. I can't remember, man. It's been so long. 20 something, but I
She was already on creatine, and
so matter of fact, I could have hit 30 something.
right, it's your
So all these little things, even though I don't think some of them don't really matter too much, but
yeah, the metrics matter.
yeah, my high jump was probably like a 29, but I had hit 30 before, like, which was decent for my size. You know, and even with all the knee stuff, I think what really helped me. So going back, East West Shrine game, and I'll go jump to the pro day.
Yeah.
East West Shrine game, doing good, thinking I'm gonna get a Senior Bowl invite. Ended up like straining my hip, so I ended up missing the rest of like a week of
So are you
practice.
telling them that injury or
They just know because I'm not practicing.
for the senior
Yeah.
to get ready for the senior bowl?
Yeah,
Right.
for the East West Shrine game.
Oh, so you did it at the East Shrine Bowl game. Okay.
I wasn't gonna play in the game, and then my wife, fiance, girlfriend at the time was like, "You need to play."
Yeah.
So I ended up playing and get a sack in the game, which helped.
Yeah.
They're like, "Okay, he can play," but Bill just didn't know. That's probably one thing that hurt you maybe a little bit by not going to the combine is the interview side of it. Did get to go to a few. What was it? I can't remember. They fly you out. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
A couple of the teams will fly
So
you
team
out.
visits?
Yeah, visits.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I did a few of those. But then I had an agent at the time. He was saying one thing and thinking we go still potentially get third or fourth, fifth round.
Right.
But my pro day was solid. I look back at it and I always critique myself. Like I'm like, dang, I thought my hips were way more fluid.
We naturally do.
Like I look stiff. Like
Yeah.
it just was inconsistency with me. Some days I would look like Pro Bowler. Some days I look like I was like stiff as a board. I think I ran like a 4.9 to 40, which I thought was great for my size. But then obviously you see some of these guys are running 4.7s in my size. Was saying those are the freak of the freaks. Did good enough to get drafted. So I got drafted 7th round. I get a call from, Jerry Jones, Rob Marinelli.
Okay.
And
That's big.
yeah, 7th round.
I never would have thought Jerry called it.
Yeah.
That's big. So he's more involved than I thought.
Yeah, he's involved. I'm on the phone with Jerry, and man, I had a crazy opportunity there.
Okay.
Cedric Thornton was there. Do you remember Cedric?
I do know Cedric. Yeah.
I loved him, man. He was unbelievable. He was like, when it comes to having a vet, he was not an asshole. He was awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
But he was also beat up like crazy.
Yeah.
And he was a free agent kind of guy. And he got his years in, and he grinded his way through.
Right.
To be honest with you, going to the Cowboys was the worst.
Tell me more.
Everything I know now, what I knew later on as far as recovery, getting your body right and certain styles of training and things. So football to me is all the little things. You know, it is 90% mental and 10% physical, but a lot of the mental side of it comes into recovery, preparation, studying the game, loving the game, football IQ. There's just so much that goes into it.
Right.
When I look back, I'm like, dang, I mean, I definitely could have been a guy that got 10 years if I'd had just really been able to piece it together. So I'm a guy, and we'll go into it, I've been on a ton of teams.
Right.
And fortunately, I was able to stay in the league consistently for 4 whole years, and even a training camp my 5th year. I'm at the Cowboys, man, and dude, you're on cloud 9, but I'm a 7th round pick, but I had this great draft class, you know, well, decent Taco Charlton, which I like Taco, but he, you know, if I'm on cloud 9, I know he's on a level.
Right.
The Cowboys, that facility's different. You got Jerry Jones pulling up on his helicopter while you're in the middle of practice. You got cameras on you all the time. You feel like a movie star, man.
Yeah.
They make it seem like you're a movie star. That's how he wants it. He is a man
Yes.
we talked about it the other day, you know. Jerry's cool though.
Okay.
Cool. I talked to him a couple times, like here and there. Awesome. He's cool. But Rob Marinelli, that is?
Yeah, I know. I don't know him, but yeah, I know
You
him.
know about him?
Yeah, not too much details, but yeah.
He's a legend now.
Yeah.
You know, he coached Warren Sapp and all these guys.
Right. Yeah.
Guy's a psychopath. Psychopath. There is something with that guy. It's funny because practice was you start off by doing get-offs, non-stop get-offs, right? Then you're doing change of direction get-offs. Then you're going to the, I call it the graveyard. We hit the sled nonstop.
Okay.
Then we put on weighted boxing gloves and we do the hand motions.
Yeah, most.
Then we go through the bag. Well, maybe before that, we go through the bag. You gotta do, it's like 6 bags, but you gotta work one side of it. Then you got 3 times with the other side 3 times, and you gotta go in and out of the bag.
This is individual?
This is individual. Bro, it's individual. So by the time I had never worked like this in my life. By the time I get done with individual, I can't even function.
Right.
I can't even think.
Right.
I'm drenched. I actually dropped all the way down to 275 pounds. That's how much we done
Yeah.
during the training camp.
Right.
You know, he was the type that it'd be like, you walk up to, how you doing, baby? He's like, "Here, I'm gonna get you. So I'm gonna get you today. I'm gonna make sure I get you."
You're right.
And I'm like, this guy's crazy.
Yeah.
When you talk to him in the like in the locker room,
Right.
and on the phone, he was, you know, unbelievable. He was smiling on his face.
Right.
He meant well. He loved his guys. You know, he went to bat for me. But looking back, you know, it's a business, man.
Right.
And I was not producing. I had my training camp was off, man. I ended up tweaking my back, and I was in my head a lot about, am I supposed to be here? My agent at the time was telling me to play through an injury. I think that's stupid because I had enough hype around, even if I was a 7th round pick, playing at Florida, to where I would have gotten an opportunity regardless if I did training camp or not. Like,
Absolutely.
I jacked myself up by playing with my L5, like I pulled a muscle in my back. So they were giving me muscle relaxers, trying to get right. I was pushing through, I was popping up out of my stance. My technique that I had known for years was off. That whole thing was bad, man. I knew I was getting cut, but what I do love about my experience there was I had one of my real close friends, Jordan Carroll, who he didn't really have an NFL career. He was a 7th round pick after me. That was another experience. Was like the starstruck thing goes out the window because my first experience, I'm sitting in a hot tub and Dak Prescott walks in, Ezekiel Elliott and Des Bryant. They all get in the hot tub. And I'm like, this is what you dream of, being in a place like this. These are the stars. Start talking. All right. Oh, these are some normal guys. It's like, it's just normal.
Zero.
After that, man, I never even knew. Even to this day, I don't really get it.
You don't stand out.
Not with athletes, though. It's just, people are just people, and that's the Cowboys for you. And I had some relationships like DeMarcus Lawrence. That D-line that we had, though, Malik Collins was unbelievable. He's still playing with, I think he's with the Browns. I still keep in touch with Malik. I was cool with all those guys. Okay, I see the potential.
Right.
I see what we have. And like some days where I just wouldn't win a one-on-one. They also had a crazy old line, but it's all confidence and believing in yourself. And I just, at that point,
There's no stop.
it just wasn't, I wasn't that confident. But there was an opportunity there because Cedric was getting in his 10th year and they needed depth. And DeMarcus Lawrence we were in the same agency. You know, he was my guy. I used to sit next to him.
Right.
Just telling me I'm the only white guy he's ever liked.
Hey, it goes far. Yeah.
No, he would joke around, but DeMarcus was awesome. Loved the guys and everything. It just didn't work out, you know. And for a good reason. My in-laws moved up here. I'm engaged at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So they weren't even my in-laws yet, but they moved up here, and we ended up packing all of our stuff as an apartment in Texas. Moved all the way out here to Atlanta. They actually live right down the road from the studio.
Really?
Crooked Creek right there.
Okay.
So yeah, I moved in the basement. I'm like, well, trying to figure out what to do with my life, man. I'm like, I don't even know where to go. I'm like, I don't know what I want to be or what I want to do. I just wanted to play football. A couple weeks later, I get a call. My agent's like, said the Falcons want to bring you in, work you out.
Right at the same time.
Dan Quinn,
Right.
like I've known him since high school. He recruited me to Florida.
Okay.
Maine, right to me. I get to the Falcons, and they actually, here's what's interesting. Dan Quinn wanted me to try to play offensive line too. And I wish I took him up on it, because there are not as many good offensive linemen as there are D linemen. There are a lot of D linemen who have transitioned over. Ben Garland's a good friend of mine who did it and got 10 years in. A bunch of guys that did.
Right.
Now I look back, I'm like, shoot, man, I should just transition, been like guard. I'm not 6'5".
Right.
I was big enough and athletic enough where I could have pulled and knocked people. I should have been like
It would have been an easier transition.
way easier. D-line's tough.
Yeah,
It's tough. So I end up, they end up putting me at D-line. That's when it started to click.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on practice squad, but I was just doing the craziest stuff at practice. I mean, I was winning. Alex Mack, this all-pro guard, center, was like, dude, you're one of the best D tackles I've practiced against in a long time. Like,
Right.
keep working, you're making us all better. They, even if they got their ass beat, they were like
Proud to see you. Like, yeah.
to see where I'm coming from.
Glad to see your story.
To this day, I'm still like keep in touch with like Ben Garland, and you could tell when someone played D line, by the way.
Right.
Ben Garland, he had some power. And Ryan Schrader, one of my really close friends, and I used to tell Wes that I was talking bad shit about him, and he would tell me Wes was talking bad shit about him.
Oh, to get it. How you
Ryan was the instigator, man.
Right.
It's hilarious though. Wes is an unbelievable player. He's still playing, but like I had a chip on my shoulder, and at practice, like these guys are obviously probably worn out too,
Right.
but I'm beating him, and the easiest thing for me to do is when it was like an outside zone and the guard had to reach you.
Right.
I'll stick my hand in his chest and drive him all the way back, and make a play in the backfield and do stuff like that, beating any pass rush. And that was getting to him. I was hurting his soul because, you're a starter. You don't want practice squad guy beating you, right? Got to the point where he like said I hurt his elbow when we started tussling, and Dan Quinn stopped the practice in the middle of the practice. He was like, if this ever happens again, I'm going to cut you off the team in front of everybody. And then
Really?
he looks at Wes smirking. He's like, don't think I won't cut you either just because you're starting. And I was like, all right, cool. Like that. He wouldn't, if he didn't like me, he probably wouldn't have said that. I really had a great opportunity there because Grady Jarrett, his understanding of football is on the level. He's a freak, but his understanding of football is what makes him also so good. He's really athletic, and he's only 6'1", but he just has such a strong football IQ. It's insane. He really understands and loves the game, and that's why he's made had all that success. So,
Right.
But yeah, so we ended up going to the playoffs and losing to the Eagles. Eagles won a Super Bowl. That following off season, I ended up getting stem cells in my knee to help. And it helped a lot. And for some reason, during my recovery process, I gained like 25 pounds. I was at 325. I was busy.
You added weight on top of treating, and then
It was crazy. I could move. I felt like I was like,
oh, it was yeah.
I was like, hey, I need to like really play at a big weight, but realistically, I need to play at a really light weight.
Lighter weight, yeah, for sure.
And I like strained my oblique really bad, and I literally, without coughing or anything, I couldn't, nothing. Like
Super.
out for most of the off season, and ended up getting cut because of that. Got a little settlement. Same kind of thing all over again, man. I'm like, well, shoot, what am I gonna do now? So my agent calls and says, Seattle needs somebody for training camp. Do you want to go? I'm like, well, here's a redemption story again. So I go out for a guy came off the street.
Right.
I balled out. I really did. The position coach they have, dude's a piece of shit. Couldn't stand how he disrespected his players.
Right.
He would call the rookie they recruited the light bitch. Turn off
Really?
the light bitch.
Really?
Wanted to slap his big ass. I can't stand him. I barely knew him. I was barely there with him. He was one of them. He was a suck up.
Yeah.
And I get it. You do whatever you can to keep your job, and you're cool with the players
There's a way.
with the stars. That's cool.
Brown nosing, what we call it.
Don't be disrespectful, man, because I was around a lot of great coaches that way like that. I had a great preseason, and that right after the last game, my coach calls me. He's like, you won't make the team. I knew I wasn't gonna make the team because like I wasn't with them in the offseason. I just needed film. So he's like, I think the best opportunity for you is to go to the Chiefs. So I go to the Chiefs, being with the Chiefs for a whole year, got really close with the whole team. I mean, I was unbelievable in a locker room. No wonder they do great.
Yeah.
Andy Reid's amazing. I got real close to the son Britt. I got real close with Spags, man. Spags really pulled for me. Even that next year, off rip, make the 53 because I had a crazy training camp. Like, they drafted D tackle, and I knew I had to ball out. I also had a baby on the way, and I just I had to
Got a lot going on. Yeah.
ball out. Me and Chris Jones were real tight, and um, like I said, I was making plays. Spags will always show. With DC, will always show certain players.
Right.
I like certain plays they make all the time. Pass rush or this or that, whatever. And it just was like a great vibe there. Everything. Season comes around and nerves start to hit. In games, did okay, but
Right.
make plays, and then we played the Raiders, the old stadium, and I just remember having these Jordan cleats on, and I just could not catch any. I couldn't get any grip in the ground. I'm trying to come out my stance, and I kept slipping. Off the lineman in front of me, I can't remember his name, but this dude, you slip
No,
or anything?
he fell on you?
Didn't fall on me, but like just I couldn't get control of him. Like
Right.
I felt like I was in.
Right, well, you starting out slipping, so it's hard.
So even although the week before I felt like I had we played in Mexico, played the Chargers. I felt like I had a great game, and then I had a really bad game, and then that's when I got cut. And then it's like week 12, and I had a chance to go on the practice squad. I probably had to wait a bit, but then Vrabel, with the Titans, they were like, "We'll pay you active on practice squad for a few weeks, so we'll bump you up active." That was another great locker room. Got Derrick Henry, the quarterback. What was the quarterback at the time?
In here.
And it was amazing, man. He comes sit next to me in the locker room. I'm eating lunch. Dude sits next to me, talking to me.
Yeah.
Like, you get to know all your guys, and even like big old Roger Staffel. And you're like, holy crap, this dude's massive. Nicest guy in the world. All these guys, great. They bring in great guys.
Right.
They really do. Wasn't any cancers in the locker room.
Okay.
I was back when AJ Brown was with the Titans. I got there late, but like I fit right in.
Right.
The D-line coach there,
There's a good culture there.
great culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I ended up, the D-line was awesome. They were hilarious guys. Jeff Simmons was the only one that was kind of the only one I probably didn't get along with too well. I always tried to, but he was very standoffish. Towards the end, I feel like he started to like open up a little around.
Yes.
But he was the type. He just was like the locker room like bully type. Like, don't look
Gotta
at
keep a persona.
persona.
Lord.
Don't look at me wrong. We look it up.
Yeah. Don't look at me like that. Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, one of those. But he's
Yeah.
backing up though.
Okay.
He's right there. Like, he's freak. Titans, great team, great squad, Super Bowl potential squad. In the playoffs, we go to New England. Beat the Patriots last game as Tom Brady was there and beat them. Then we beat the Ravens. No one thought we were gonna beat them.
There's nobody.
Then we play the Chiefs, my old team. End up losing to them. Chiefs go and win a Super Bowl. And man, I never got a ring, which kind of hurt me a little bit.
Right, because you got
I was
cut.
there for 12 weeks, and I was there the whole year before.
Oh, so week 13, 14, you got cut.
Yeah.
And then
I'm like, because I knew guys that maybe went to the Eagles for 4 weeks and got a ring.
for sure.
I contributed to that team.
For 12 weeks. Definitely should have got your
season and all training camp, everything.
The explanation? Well, you didn't necessarily have the best relationship with your agent.
Huh?
Their agent.
I like them as people. I just don't like what
Business,
exactly like with.
But I'm saying, I'm trying to figure out, like, why wouldn't it be considered? Yeah.
At the end of the day, man, if you don't bring value to somebody, and it's just like they can say you're their favorite client,
12 weeks of value.
right? But no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that from an agent's perspective. I'm saying like they can act like your buddy if you don't bring value. At the end of the day, these guys are in the business, make money. So
Right,
like,
correct, cool. But you are the product.
I agree. I just don't know as much as they can tell you in the mouthpiece of their brand, and they're going to bat for you. much as they say all that, I don't know if they went to bat for me to get a ring.
Right. And I
That
think
that that
I think that's the reason why you didn't get it.
looking at it now pisses me off. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
I
fucked,
can see why. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. 12 weeks and then don't get nothing.
You know,
Yeah.
David Cantor's my agent, by the way. So if he hears
Yeah.
this, David, you should have tried to
Should have did what you're supposed to do, Dave. Come on, man.
come on, David.
Learn from this. Don't,
Oh,
don't
man.
just heed to learn from it.
Look, at the end of the day, once you're out of the game, you got football is just a part of your life.
Right.
But I mean, a ring like that, I mean, that's forever, right?
So some pride and accomplishment of your work that you did put in. It gives value. It's not necessarily,
Now, if you were me, what would you do
today or before.
today?
I would probably build it as a story.
I mean, is
I
it
would frame it as a story,
responsible to
but
get a ring?
sure, absolutely.
But how though? How do you do it?
You will go about it. You would have to master guys. You would have to no, it would have to be a couple emails. Then you have to go to the league office as well. How long has this been now? What, 2 years? 3 years?
This was back in 2018.
2018? Oh, it's an uphill battle. However, I wouldn't count it out
Right.
in regards to your ability. It's like if you
It
don't
would be
try,
something that would go to the owner of the Chiefs, though. Because the way my
it
agent
can get
explained
to
me,
him if you go through the league. If you can get to the league office,
right,
because they will press the issue to him,
right.
which would get his attention versus you trying to like get his attention on your own.
Right. You cool with
So
anyone in the league office?
anyone,
That
we'll
would go.
talk about it
Yeah, we can
offline.
talk about
I think I do got a connection. Well, furthermore, he just recently left, but he got connections that can kind of do that.
off a high up connect.
Yeah, I think that's a good.
It's got to be a relationship piece where they gotta.
So you just need to
You
get.
can't go through my agent. Then
You need them to see. You need them to be able to have eyes on the issue, not
right.
and then present it and frame the right way. That's another thing. Because if it just seemed like, oh, I'm begging for a ring, it probably won't go through. But if you frame it as if hey, this is an error that I've been trying to contact you guys about, and you guys aren't responding, or I haven't had any luck with a response in regards to me getting my ring, and based off law,
Mhm.
whatever that code is, I'm owed a ring and I just never received it. And I'm not sure if you ever sent this somewhere or you try to contact me. I have no idea, and I have no association with my agent, so therefore I'm reaching out to get confirmation in regards to where this ring is located.
Let's talk about it, man. Because it's frustrating. My agent told me it's based on each owner.
No, it's not it. Well, there's law. It's written in the code of the NFL law. So it's not even about whether or not it's a new owner or not. It's in the book. It's in the rule book. Where if you play X amount of time,
I feel like my old teammates, maybe they didn't care because I went to a team.
they're not gonna push for you. It's a business. When it gets to the
They
league.
people care and they want to push for you. No one gives.
I think they will push for you, but I just don't think they care. We'll wrap up with this. You're out of the league. You're hanging your cleats up. You're putting the pads. You're putting your pads up. Let's talk about transitioning out of the league. That process, and once you realize that, okay, I'm not playing football again.
Right.
How did that go over with you mentally, physically, emotionally, and kind of dive into like even having to deal with, at the time it was your fiance, correct? Y'all hadn't got married yet at that point, or did you?
We got married my first year in the league.
Oh, so you was already married. Okay, so cool. Yeah, like with your marriage.
Yeah, and I had a kid.
Okay, so explain your mental phase and how you went through, and I also want to kind of give a little background or background insight in regards to like how you had to manage your wife and your kids at that time, because now it's not just about you going to another city. It's like now we have to find somewhere where we're gonna actually live and raise these kids.
When I got done, it was after a training camp. I kind of knew it was just gonna be, according to my agent, it's almost like he kind of gave up on me. And,
Yeah.
When I got done though, ended up moving. I had already bought a house here in
Okay.
Alpharetta area, and just kind of our home base, and obviously, did some random stuff and tried to, make money for my family. I did a few different things here and there, very entrepreneurial stuff, and didn't even really realize it. I was already kind of suffering with anxiety when I was playing pretty bad. it was almost like a form of depression in a way. I hid it through gaming. So I would hop on the video games, and anytime I felt a certain way, I'd hop on the game. Well, gaming to me is like a mask, just like alcohol is a mask,
Right.
marijuana is a mask, and
Yeah.
prescription pills are a mask. These are things to mask things instead of working on the root cause and why you feel this way. So I used gaming to get me through it, for about 2 years, 2.5 years, and I wasn't the best version of myself, wasn't able to be a better father or a husband or anything just because I was so used to this life, and then all of a sudden I'm in this whole 'nother world of no football, trying to figure my life out. It was really difficult for me because it was hard for me to think, "I don't wanna go from football to working a desk job." I also didn't wanna be a coach because I didn't wanna spend my whole life moving around the world,
Right.
around the country. It was real difficult for me, man, a lot of ups and downs and headaches, but the good thing about, Georgia is I met a lot of really good people that kinda create a community around here, and, I have a buddy named Ryan Schrader, who's been retired for about 2, 3 years before I stopped playing,
Okay.
and he did real well in the league. He started with the Falcons for, like, 7 years, and, we just got real close, and, he has some hunting property up in, somewhere in the Georgia mountains, and, me and him, what we do, we have, like, these little powwows, like, every two weeks, we go up we'd hit a camper up there, and, we'd hunt or
Right.
fish or just ride around the Polaris and just, like, have some, male bonding time, whatever you call it. Some people call it Brokeback Mountain. Well, we're pretty simple if you
Right.
break it down.
Right.
It's
Right. Right.
like it was a good way to talk about old times and ball and, like, talk about life and everything and just have someone to share something with and to share similar experience because when you get done and it's similar to, like, ex-military in a way, it's like you had this brotherhood and people you can relate to. When you get done and you're back in society, Joe Schmo over here or Jimmy, I mean, even they're good people and they're cool, it's hard to relate to
Right.
them. I'm at the point now, it's been like 4.5 years where, like, I'm starting to relate to people a lot,
Yeah.
with kids and
Right.
life things.
Different common
Well,
apples.
it's
Yeah.
slowly just a past thing of my life, but those first 2 years were really difficult. Unfortunately, I had my in-laws here. I have my whole family in Tampa, so that was hard because I was away from everybody, but, this was a great place with community and everything, but I definitely feel like I struggled because it got to the point where, I would mask how I felt, and then it catches up to you,
Mm-hmm.
your actions, and being emotional and then reactive and not being a good version of yourself as a father or a husband or not. Life smacks you in the face sometimes, and and you bring yourself back in. If you continuously mask something, there's no way to potentially better yourself. So until I realized, hey, I got a problem. Like I do have anxiety. I do have things that I need to work on daily. Like, um, yeah, it was hard for me to realize any changes. So even today, it's like having little girls is the best thing that ever happened to me. God bless me with daughters because it's allowed me to understand that, look, I can't be reactive anymore. I'm a big, scary guy.
Process. Yeah.
I gotta be calm. If spouse says something that might irritate you, get under your skin, you gotta learn to just let it go. But,
Right.
marriage isn't easy.
Right.
Things aren't life isn't easy.
Right.
But it's like working through the challenges. The one thing that I think is good, number one for players, it's hard to make the transition because you're in a different life. I mean,
Yes.
you have this brotherhood, you got the structure, things are done for you. And then you go through this cycle of now you're on your phone on social media and you're comparing your life to your buddy who might still be playing or someone else. And guess what? Comparison is a thief of joy.
Correct.
So it's like comparison is what's going to eat you up. Social media also, this is where you see a lot of athletes. They're falling for a lot of these. Oh, this is how you can make money so easily this way. Or people pulling you all different kind of directions, and you don't have the right people, and they actually care about you having an invested interest in you. So
Exactly.
you're on your own a lot. And I had to learn the hard way, and I learned that no one's ever gonna save you.
Nobody's gonna say.
So, like, even with work now, and I'm in the business world, it's like I've had to realize that no one's gonna save you. You've but what I remember is my whole life and the training and football in general and the life lessons and skill sets and everything. Athletes uh, sometimes get a bad rep because of dumb stuff that a lot of our teammates might do. Might make a mistake, but when you're on this platform, you got girls, you got there's drugs and alcohol and everything you could think of in front of you. very tempting. It's like the forbidden fruit, right?
For sure.
Someone waving something in front of you. So it's very difficult for athletes. But what I will say is athletes, we learn skill sets and we have attributes and work ethic and abilities to solve problems and things that we've learned that create tremendous value
Right.
and even the work field. Like depending on what area you want to go in for work, we've already developed such a strong skill set where you put an athlete, same thing as military,
Mhm.
in a room with other people, they're gonna
Around every time.
so like even for me, I've never had a corporate job or anything, but like if I had to go get a corporate job or do something that I need to feed my family, I got that competitive spirit. I look
Right.
around, I see Timmy over here, this guy, or if I'm in sales and I want to be the best.
Right.
But that is from ball. So that's where it comes from. But it's learning how to transition and how to get to that point. We just go back and forth about stuff and life and mistakes and learning from it. But I'm 30 years old. I got
Mhm.
2 kids and a wife. I got my family. I got friends and good group of friends. And I'm very open about my life. You know, even whatever situation, finance situation, whatever situation I've ever gone through or been through or where I'm at, I don't want to fake it. I'm not a
Right.
faker. I'm not pretend to be something I'm not. Maybe when I was younger because I was
Yeah.
secure, right? And I'm at the age, and this would have maturity in your age, and it's just like, just be real, man. Like I just want to be real. You be open about life and struggles and ups and downs, and you know, more people did that,
Right.
things things would be a lot different. But yeah, going back to your original question, it was really challenging, hard transition for me, but I'm finally on the
Mhm.
ups, of trying to find my calling. For the Christian listeners on here, spiritual listeners on here, I've struggled with my faith for years and I've always struggled with it, but I will say my dad instills some, fruits of the spirit in me that
Mhm.
no matter where I'm at and how dark things get in life, because I've had some dark moments, you just start talking to about yourself. You said, you're worthless. You didn't make it here. You're not good enough.
Right.
Where are you at? Like you have these. I would have these thoughts, like
Yes.
crazy thoughts. Fruits of the spirit, though, man. I think God is what's fulfilling.
Mhm.
I had a story before we wrap it up.
Yeah.
I got my daughter at soccer
Yeah.
practice at 5:30. Warriors right now.
Yeah, we that's what we do.
I wanted to tell this story real quick. Two quick things, man. This is kind of like a testimony for me. I am what's called was a lukewarm Christian for a very long time.
Okay.
Want to be better, but I really do. Just because I think as a father, especially a girl dad, man, it's like
Mhm.
your spiritual armor. Everything from your mind, your spirit, your body, everything. I want to be solid, a
Correct.
solid father.
Right.
What made me realize our spirit, the world, the spiritual side of the world is real is, man, when I got back to Florida, going back after my sister passed, I came back about 2 weeks later. And remember I told you my sister was in the
It
community with
was
girls,
right.
and everything.
Mm.
I had a girl on the track team walk up to me. I had never met this girl in my life.
Right, man. Generally speaking, but never met her. Yeah, it was like you're right.
So she, I guess she had followed me on social media or something, and she comes up to me. I'm at Chick-fil-A in line. When you have an experience like this, you don't forget the detail.
No, right.
Chick-fil-A,
Okay.
fat ass is getting a spicy chicken sandwich, and
Okay.
large fried egg, and 4 chicken strips. I'm tell you,
I do the salad now, but
the
good
salad,
better
right?
sandwich, yeah. Spices fillet.
I've been eating that stuff. Yeah, I was a Southern food guy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, it's hard. Yeah, you
It's
the wrong with Roseville. Yeah,
forgive me, I'm clean now, but it's like a drug.
yeah, for sure.
It's
It could be addictive for sure.
my whole family. Anyways, man, I'm in line at Chick-fil-A. She comes up to me. She's like tearing up. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, no, I just want to tell you, I had a dream last night, and my dream, I was getting bullied. The girls were pushing me, and an angel appeared in my dream, and she was like, and saved me. She's like, that next morning, so I was on my phone. I saw you had posted a picture of your sister. I just want to tell you, that angel in my dream was your sister.
Mm. Wow.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
Hit me, man.
And it's documented.
And then my sister passed. I felt a spiritual presence leave the room. I can't explain it. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. Some people, God always gave me, I feel like discernment with people.
Mhm.
I've always had. I've always had this weird, I don't know if it's a spiritual, people talk about spiritual gifts or whatever, but like, I've always felt like
Discernment one, yeah.
I always get a feeling around certain people.
Yeah, that's
We're
one.
bad people, like, but I still even if I'm by myself, it's one thing. It's just then you feel convicted. But like if I'm in my family, it's good. My family's good because all right, we gotta get out of here, right?
Right.
Like I felt a presence leave right when they took her out. My brother's best friend, who was actually one of my close friends too, got in a car accident. But he had a random roommates that he had in college. They went out partied. He was in the truck bed and fell out while they were driving and rolled into a ditch and they left him.
Eesh.
Hours later, he's found in a coma.
So he was the whole time he was in a coma in a ditch.
They find him. They put him in the hospital in Gainesville. We're visiting him all the time. Probably about the fourth, fifth time I go into the room. The mom and dad's crying. It's their only son. And I look at them and I was like, Rand's gonna wake up. I feel him in this. I felt like a spiritual presence of
The Holy Spirit is
I
bad.
don't know how to explain it.
The presence of the Holy Spirit, yeah, it
That's
should be
what it
still.
was,
Yeah.
I just had faith that this man was gonna wake up. It was different than what happened with my sister. And then, a couple days later, man wakes up. Just kind of proved to me that God is real and
He's very much real.
right.
And I think that he's not done with you, obviously. And I think there's more, experiences, more interactions with God that will lead you to, not even just being a part of a story where, he's doing miraculous healing or he's
Right.
giving you a story or a testimony where he took someone home, but also, you being able to be an instrument that he used to save, help, heal people
Right.
throughout your journey. And I think, and based off our conversation and us talking about it, I see that you find real joy. I see that you find joy in being used by God.
Right.
And although, and I think you're still striving, as we all are. There's never going to be a time where you're going to be totally fulfilled because you know that you serve an everlasting God that always allows you to get better and better and better and better. And there's always another level. Even when you have the most closest and then you can hear God and, clearly, no matter what you're doing, you fast and you do different things, like there's always more to him.
Right.
And so it's so fulfilling to know that no matter, as long as I'm living, there's more to know about God. You know what I mean? And I think that as you continue to work on that, it'll all play out and you will start to feel more comfortable in your relationship with God, which would allow you to grow even more deeper than what you probably expect and whatnot.
Absolutely. Starts with the book, man. Yeah. I need to do it more. A study came out about like if you're not in the word more than 4 or 5 days a week,
Yeah.
you're not gonna be really affected. It's not really gonna be
I-
affecting you. It's like
I love the word, and I do think that there should be a practice to that. My challenge with that is because there's a lot of the times that we don't completely understand the word,
understand it for
so you need discipleship to help you live that out.
Well, it's not just like the Bible itself. It's like even if you're doing like your own little Bible study, it's easy to comprehend, and it's like there's a ton of them out there now where it's like every day you're doing some type of study on maybe some scripture and it breaks
Yeah.
it down for you. And
Yeah, I'm just saying, don't get caught up or hung up on just the book itself, but more so focus. To me, and this is just me personally speaking, like I find more transformation with little Bible reading, fasting, a lot of fasting.
that's why here I gotta do that.
Like the Bible reading is great and it's necessary.
You
Don't
didn't do
get
the
it
damn
twisted.
fast, did you?
I do all kinds of fast. My wife is like the fast
I did
queen.
the damn fast. It messed me up bad.
She does all kinds of fasts. She would go dry fast,
Really?
wet fast, yeah, all kinds of fasts. Like no food for 12 hours, no food for 24 hours,
I've
all
done
kinds of things.
24-hour.
I've went 3 days straight with no food.
That's what I want.
It's very tough, bro.
As long as you have your minerals right, that's just
I don't take nothing. No, because you don't
water
need that.
fast?
No,
You don't even drink water for 3 days?
You can drink water when you need to, but you don't need it.
Oh heck no. The water?
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is
Water?
why it's in
That's a good way
depth.
to die.
No, you're not gonna die. Yeah, you'll be surprised at how much your body is actually storing versus using.
Especially us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like where we think like, oh, I'll be dying in starvation or whatever. It's like, no, buddy, we got plenty of storage shit that can be burned off and disposed at a high rate. I appreciate you joining me, man. I
Yeah, man.
appreciate you coming in. This was an incredible podcast. Obviously, we'll do more.
Yeah.
We'll get in depth about a lot of different things. But
I got some guys around here that I want to introduce you to.
Okay.
I think would be great.
Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Line of Defense Podcast. I am your host, Q, and I want to appreciate and thank my special guest, Joey Ivie. What an incredible episode. Till next time, this is your Line of Defense.